Hi everyone. So in the previous session we saw how we can implement the base class inside our automation framework. So today we can see the concept of page object model design pattern, and let's see how we can implement the page object model design pattern into your automation framework. So let's see what is a page object model design pattern. Inside page object model design pattern, we will be creating different pages for each pages according to our application. So each page class will contain all the web element locators, and after that we'll be passing that locators into the test so they can identify the locator and they can perform the actions accordingly. Suppose let's consider this as our automation framework. So in the page object model design pattern, we'll be having a package. Let's name it as pages package. Then inside the pages package, suppose we are, in our case, we are automating Google search functionality, right? In that case, we'll have one Google page class, Java class, to hold all the locators for Google page. Suppose after the search we are navigating into any other page, we'll create the other pages as well, like result page dot Java accordingly. So this is a concept of page object model. So inside each page we will have separate methods, separate locators, and their performing methods as well. So let's see how we can implement page object model design pattern into our existing framework. So as of now, we have all the components here. We have a test class, we have the configuration file, and we created a base class as well. So let's see how we can implement the page object model here. So as you see the structure, right? This is the source, main, and test. Under the test, under Java, we are creating all the test cases. So let's create a page package inside the source main Java. So I'm creating a package like pages. So under the pages, I'll be creating a Java class that will be like Google page. So under the Google page, what I have to do is like we should have a constructor. Constructor is nothing but it will have a same name of that class. So once the object is creating, right, the constructor will be calling automatically, so that we can initialize the web driver and all accordingly, so that we can keep the web driver instance and we can pass it for test steps. So the driver instance will remain same. So here what we can do is like we can have the web driver, then inside that we can initialize all the web elements from the page class using the page factory. So we have a built-in function under page factory, nothing but the init elements. So under that we can have the driver which we are passing here, right? So that we can use it here. So I guess we can pass the driver instance here. Then after that, let's create the web elements, declare it here. So to declare the web elements inside the web object model class, we have a tag at the rate find by, and we have to specify how we are, which kind of locator strategy we are using, right? So how equals how dot id, right? So we have multiple locators like id, css selector, name, class name, tag name, like that, right? So currently I'm just giving the id equals comma. So we should, using the id name, we should pass it here. And after that, I'm making this web element as public. The web element, it will be type of web element. Then give search box. Then we can see one error here, right? That will be because at the rate find by create constant field. Let's, it will be in small letters. Now we have initialized this correctly, right? So we can import it from the Selenium support page factory. So it will come under page factory itself. So after that, so let's go into the test and see whichever objects we have used here, right? Whichever of elements. So here we can see the ID as this one. So I'm just passing the same thing and copying it, pasting it here so that I can reuse the ID. Then, so I'm just commenting it for the time being. Currently, we are using only one thing, right? So what I am going to do is I'm going to comment these three lines, and so after this, what I am going to do is so I should create a Google page object here before the test. That will be like Google page GP equals new Google page. So I should pass the driver instance here, right? If you see the class, it's a parameterized constructor. That means we have a parameter over here, right? So we can create it as unparameterized constructor. Without the parameter as well, we can create the constructor. Currently it is parameter constructor, so we should pass the driver as it is. So if I pass the driver over here, what will happen is like it will take it from the base class. So we will get the base class driver instance and it will pass to the Google page. So it will come here and it will initialize the driver here. So for each object, it will be page factory. There will be some hidden driver instance, right? So it will work accordingly. After the init browser, let's call the object search box dot. We can have like we'll be sending some keys into it, right? So then Google. So as we written here, right? From the page object model class, we call this object. Then we are sending the text into that field. And after that, as we had done earlier, right? So I'm just giving the assert TestNG assertion assert true gp dot box dot is displayed. So let's try to run the same. Let it be like this and see whether it is executing correctly or not. So first it should launch the browser. Then from the page object model class, it should take the driver instance and along with the search box, and it should enter the send keys. So something failed. Let's fix it together. So in the real time, definitely you'll get some errors like this. Whenever you get it, so come to the console and explore it correctly. So currently we are getting null pointer exception. So because of this search context find element, we are passing some null value. Something is happening. Some null value is passing for any of the driver instance or something, right? So currently let's explore this. So here the driver initialization is happening and at this point, right? So after that we'll get this driver. So in our test case, we are trying to pass the driver here, right? So that is making the null. So at the before the initialization, the driver instance value will be null. If you pass it accordingly to the page object model design pattern, so definitely we will get this error, null error. So what we have to do is let it be the Google page object here. Then after the initialization, let's come here and assign the value. So once we done with the initialization, definitely we'll get the driver instance at the base class. So we are passing the same base class driver instance value into the GP. So definitely this will pass. Let's try to execute it again. So we have to enter the semicolon here. So it is executing. So once we execute it, after the init browser, we will get the value of this driver instance inside the base class. So we are passing the same into the injecting the driver value into the Google page class, Google page object. So after that, we are just checking whether this text box is visible or not. Then after that, it will enter some key. That's it. So the execution will happen quickly. So it is loading. Then after that, the driver URL like initialization will happen. Then after that, it will launch the URL. It will be very quick. Like it will enter the Google text into the text area. Yeah, that's it. So it happened quickly. That's why you didn't see anything, right? So let's have a wait here and see whether it is happening or not, right? So let's have a 3 second of time. Try to rerun it again. So now we'll be able to see it will be typing the Google text into this send keys. For the time being, I'm just deleting this code. We have the exact code here, right? So execution will be very quicker so that we can. Meanwhile, let's create a util package. Started the execution after building. Then it will launch the browser. Then it will maximize the browser after loading the URL. Then after that, it will enter Google text into the text area. That's it. It will close it, tear down it. Then after that, let's implement a utility package inside here. Let's name it as util package. Inside that, let's create a class of name action util. So inside the action util, let's extend it from the base class. And after that, let's create a function public void send value text into input area, like that. You can have any name. So here it should receive the web element type. Let it be we, and after that we dot send keys. Also let's pass the value as well, string value. So let's receive that value as well here. So then pass it here, and now we can see how we can use this function or call this function from inside the rest. So here action util au equal to new action util. So we have created an object. Then after that, here commenting this one, I'm going to au dot calling this function. Like it will have the web element and the value, right? So coming back to the test, then coming here, then just our web element will be gp dot search box. After that, I'm giving the value Google. Then after that, let's have an assertion method as well here inside the util void, or let it be like boolean assert true assert is displayed we dot is displayed. If it is displayed, return true, else return false. So here what will happen is like if the element is displayed, it will pass true into that function, otherwise it will pass false. So currently what will happen is it will come here and it will assert true, like that. So let's try to run it. So it will capture the all the web elements from the page object model class. Then after that, it will inject this web element into the asset is displayed utility function. Then after that, it will pass it to the other utility function for sending the key into the text area. Then after that, it will wait for some time. Then after that, it will tear down the browser. So it will quit it. So let's see the execution. So project is building. Then after that, it will start the execution. Then it will pop up the browser. Once the browser is popped up, it will enter the URL. And then once the page is loaded, it will maximize the window. Then it will assert it. After that, it will enter the Google text value. That's it. So that's it. Then so that's it for today. So thank you all. Thanks for watching. On the next video, we will create the testng.xml runner class and we'll see the execution and we'll see whether how we can pass the parameters from the testng.xml and we can see the cross browser testing using the testng.xml as well. Sometimes we can see the parallel execution using testng.xml. Thank you all. See you in the next video.